So I made a quick video for you guys. It's not too crazy. It's not too long. It's about 25-minute Asana Flow maybe. Feel free to pause it, rewind it at any point. If you have any questions, obviously you can just text me or call me, or if you have any jokes about it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, cheers and namaste. Hey guys, so we are going to start in a bridge pose. So just lay down flat on your back. Make sure the knees are stacked almost directly above the ankles. And we're going to press the pelvis into the air. The only part of your back touching the ground should be your shoulder blades. We're just going to hang out here for a little while. Breathing nice and slowly, really full exhales and really deep inhales. Make sure you're thrusting the pelvis, actively thrusting the pelvis up and engaging your thigh muscles to really turn your glutes on. And then now I want you guys to lift all 10 toes and just spread them if you can, actually. Really deep inhales and really deep exhales. You should start to feel a sensation right about now, and don't run away from that sensation. Just welcome it, embrace it. It's only good things happening. So we're gonna hang out here for just a couple more breaths. Make sure you're thrusting that pelvis up. So go ahead and give it an extra thrust all the way up, as high as you can. Inhale, exhale. And now you can slowly just roll your back down onto the mat until you're completely flat again on the mat. And we are going to start with a couple of abdominal exercises before we start our Asana practice. So I want you guys to interlace all 10 fingers behind your head, behind your neck, and what we're gonna do is really slow bicycle kicks. So we're gonna start with the right leg or left leg, yeah. And as you exhale, you're gonna thrust the pelvis up into the air, and you inhale when you come back down, and you thrust the next leg up into the air. We're just gonna repeat these for quite a few times, okay? Exhale, thrust that right leg up. Inhale, rest the pelvis. Exhale, thrust the left leg up. Inhale, rest. Exhale, thrust the right leg. Make sure when you're thrusting, you're really contracting your abdominal muscles. The entire pelvis should be off of the ground. Inhale, rest. Exhale, thrust. Inhale, rest. Exhale, thrust. You should really feel a nice burn in your lower ab muscles. This is exactly what we're going for. So don't stop, don't pause. Inhale, rest, exhale, thrust. We've just got a couple more of these before we move on. We're gonna inhale, rest, and now our last one. Exhale, thrust. Beautiful. Now we'll take a quick breather. Oh, I guess there's one more. One for good measure. We'll take a quick breather now, and we are going to come forward onto our hands and knees into a tabletop position. Make sure the hips are stacked directly above the knees and your arms are parallel, and we're going to go into cat calls. So as we exhale, we're going to round the spine. As we inhale, we're going to do the exact opposite, opening up the heart and the shoulders. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale around the spine. The pelvis leads the movement here, so the pelvis goes first, and the last thing should be your head and your neck. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale. We just really get the blood flowing here now, and getting some oxygen into each vertebrae. And as we find a neutral spine here, we're going to take the right leg from behind us, swoop it over to the side, and we're going to lean back on our hips and forward. We're going to do these about 5 times just to really open the hips up. That's 3, I believe. 4, and 5. And now we're going to go in huge circles going clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at 5, we're going to go counterclockwise. Make sure you're trying to get a full movement here. I'm really activating that 360-degree twist of the hips. 4 and 5. And now we're going to do the same thing with the opposite leg. Left leg goes out and behind, scoops out to the side, lean back, then forward. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we go in circles. 1, 2. Make sure you're really getting a deep circle here. And the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to settle here into child's pose, just relaxing. Make sure you guys get your breath up under you, and make sure you're actively breathing throughout this entire asana. The breathing is extremely important. Now we're going to come from our child's pose up into a puppy pose. So really stretch out the lower back and open up the heart and the shoulders. If this is comfortable for you, just put your forehead down to the mat and make sure you're gripping the mat. If you're okay with this, you can go ahead and try to put your chin down also. Really opening up the heart and stretching out the back. And if the chin down is comfortable, try to even get your chest all the way down if you can. And we're going to hang out here for a couple of rests. Make sure you deep inhale and full exhales. And now we're going to slither forward into our upward dog. And then back into down dog as we exhale. Now feel free to just really stretch out the hamstrings here. We're going to stay in down dog for a couple of breaths. You want to try to get your heels as close to the ground as possible in your down dog. It's okay if they aren't totally touching. It's totally okay if your knees are slightly bent like mine are. Now we're going to bend the knees as we inhale. We're going to step forward between the hands. Half lift, straight spine, flat back, and forward fold. The knees don't have to be straight here again, as I'm emphasizing. Just try to close the gap between your stomach and your thighs. Just gonna really engage in this fold here. And as we're gonna inhale all the way up, hands up. I'm gonna exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Inhale. I'm gonna exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, straight spine. We're gonna exhale into our vinyasa. Elbows in, lower, exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg forward into warrior 1. I'm gonna stay here for 2. Make sure both hips are facing forward for 1. I'm gonna exhale, both hands back down, chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. I'm going to inhale the left leg forward into warrior 1, other side. Make sure the knee is not passing the toes here. You're going to stay here for 2. And for 1, hands back down, leg back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale into your down dog. We're going to inhale the right leg up and forward again into warrior 1. Oh, he's taking his time here. There we go. And then we're going to exhale into warrior 2. We're just going to hang out here for 3, 2, 1. And we're going to reverse the warriors. The left leg goes on the back thigh and the right hand goes up and over, engaging in a bit of a twist here. Make sure your lower ribs are tucked in and you're really getting over, up and over as far as you can. We're gonna stay here for 3, for 2, and for 1, we're gonna come forward into triangle pose. So your right hand comes on your shin, left hand goes straight up. If the shin is comfortable for you, you can even bend forward all the way over and grab the toes. Make sure the back is straight, left hand straight, really stretching up as if you can touch the ceiling, the sky, wherever you are. And now we're going to move from this into warrior 3. So come back briefly into warrior 2. We're going to float forward onto the right leg and float the back leg straight up behind us. The goal here is to get a completely parallel line with the legs as the right leg stays perpendicular. If you're totally comfortable with this, then go ahead and give it a shot, extending both hands in front of you. And I am not completely perpendicular, so I do apologize for that. But we're doing our best somewhat. Come back into warrior 2 and both hands on the ground. Chaturanga. We're gonna try the same exact thing on the other side. Hopefully this side goes a little better than the last side. So left foot forward between the legs into warrior 1. Briefly, then we're going to open up into our warrior 2. Gonna hang out here. Make sure you guys are breathing again, actively breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Now we're going to reverse that warrior. Right hand goes on the back thigh, left hand goes up and over. Emphasizing on the up first and then over. Inhale back here, guys, and exhale. And we are going to come forward into our triangle pose. So the left hand goes onto the shin, right hand goes up to the ceiling. For 3, for 2, and for 1. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go into warrior 3. So bring your hands to heart center and try to float up as delicately as you can onto your left leg. Once you have your balance, extend the right leg out behind you. Engage your left thigh muscles. Make sure that right foot is flexed. And here we go with the hands, extending the hands in front of us for 2. And for 1, we're going to come back briefly into warrior 2. And then into your chaturanga. Exhale, lower to the ground. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. As we're going to inhale, feet between the hands. Half lift, flat spine, flat back, straight spine, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to sun salutation B. We're going to go into our chair pose. Inhale up. Make sure the weight is not on the balls of your feet, but more on your heels. Try to do a slight back bend here and sit down even a little lower. Now we're going to go into a chair twist. Left elbow goes outside of the right knee. As you inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist again. Make sure you're really twisting the spine, getting the shoulder blades almost parallel. Come back into center and over to the next side. Right knee outside of the shoulder blade. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale. Oh my God, do you see that fat in the back of my neck? What is that? Back into center. Sorry, guys. Exhale, fold all the way over. Inhale, straight spine, straight back. Go into our chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale. into our down dog. I'm going to come down into child's pose here now, just for a quick second. And we're going to go into headstand. So interlace the hands. Place the head on the ground and just give yourself try a couple little hops if you can't get into it straight away. If you're not comfortable, feel free to use the wall. And yeah, once you gain your balance in a tucked headstand, if this is totally okay for you, then try to extend the legs up and straight, preferably a little straighter than I have here. I'm not quite sure what's going on. But yeah, guys, pause the video if you want. Try this a couple of times. You can use the wall behind you in case you're afraid of falling over. And then once you've exhausted your tries at that, we're going to come back down in child's pose. Join me here just to regain your breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling equally as deeply. And we're going to push up into down dog. And we're going to come from our down dog forward into a plank pose. Going to hang out here for 3. For 2. And for 1, now we're going to go into side plank. So right side first. Shift the weight onto your right hand. Left hand goes straight up. Make sure your hips are not sagging, but you're keeping them active. We're going to hang out here for 2. For 1, switch sides. If you did a different variation on the first side, be sure to complete that variation also on the second side. We're going to finish this side plank now. We're going to come back into our regular plank. Going to hold this for 3. For 2. And for 1, now we're going to go into downward dog in the downward dog split now. So right leg goes all the way up, extended behind us. Engage the glutes. And we're going to bring the right knee to the right nose, right nose. Round the spine, exhale. Right knee goes back up and then over to the left tricep. Back up into down dog split and over to the right tricep. Back into down dog split, and we're going to open up the hip and flip into our rock star. Stay here for 2. And for 1, we're going to come back into our down dog split, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So left leg goes up straight behind us. Engage those glutes, untuck the pelvis, left knee all the way to nose as you round the spine. Exhale. Inhale the leg back up, then round the spine over to the right tricep. Exhale. Inhale back up. Exhale to left tricep. And as you inhale back up, open up that hip and flip that bad boy over into rock star. Hold this for 3. For 2. And for 1, we're going to come back into our down dog. Going to bend the knees, inhale, and we're going to step the right foot forward into a high lunge. And we're going to go into a slight back bend here, but at first just lift the hands up as high as you can. And just go backwards slowly, opening up the shoulders. If that's comfortable for you, then feel free to actually turn this into a back bend, going up and over, reaching your hands back, opening up the heart. I'm going to come forward. We're going to just open up the hip a couple of times here for 2. For 1, and we're going to bend the left knee and grab our ankles as we stretch the front left quad. Now bring the heel all the way to your butt cheek. Nice. And we are going to go back into our chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And now let's do the opposite side. Left leg comes forward between the hands for our high lunge. Hands swoop up as we inhale. And slightly backwards, just opening up the shoulders, opening up the heart. And like I said, if you're feeling up to it, then feel free to turn this into an actual high lunge back bend, going up and back for 3, for 2, and for 1. I'm going to come forward, place the hand on the ground, and use your left hand to just stretch open that hip a bit. And now we're going to bend the right knee, bring that right heel to your butt cheek. Bring the heel in, really stretching out that right quad. There we go. Oh, this feels so nice. As we finish that, we're going to place both hands forward on the ground, back into our chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. And we're going to exhale into our down dog. Now we're going to come to lay down flat on the ground. We're going to do just one more back bend. So we're going to go into our floor bow. So we're going to bend both legs and grab your ankle from the outside. Grab both ankles from the outside. And as we inhale, and now we exhale, thrust, kick your legs into your hands. Hold for 2, for 1. Exhale, back onto the ground. We'll do a bit of a spinal twist here. So we're going to cactus the arms, and I'm going to use the left hand to push our torso over. Bring the left leg back and over. You should feel a really good stretch here in your right pectoral muscles and your right shoulder. I'm going to hold this for 1 more count, and then over to the next side. Pushing with the right hand and really stretching out that left shoulder. I'm going to come back into up dog, upward facing dog, and we exhale into our down dog. I'm going to step forward, straight back, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale, arms to heart center. Inhale all the way up. You're going to exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, straight spine. Exhale, chaturanga. Now we're going to come forward into our feet, into a seated position. We're going to finish out with a couple of stretches. So bring your right foot into your left hip crease. We're going to stretch up and over the left leg. Now, if you can't bring your hands all the way to your feet, that's totally okay. If you only get as far as this, that's fine. And even if you cannot even grab your toes, it's totally okay. Just as long as you're hinging and slightly twisting your torso over your left leg. Breathe. Full inhales, full exhales. We're going to do the opposite leg. Right leg extended, left foot into your right hip crease. You're going to stretch up and over the right leg. Deep inhales and deep exhales. You should feel really nice stretching your hamstring and your back. And now we're going to come back up, feet together. Grab the big toes and forward fold. Your legs don't have to be completely straight. Actually, mine aren't even. It's okay if there's a slight bend. You just want to make sure you're getting the maximum out of that forward fold as possible in your hamstrings and in your lower back. Now, as we're going to come back up here now, we're going to lay down flat on our backs. And we're just going to finish out with a wheel pose. So similar to how we started, but instead of doing bridge, we're going to go into a full wheel. Make sure the knees are stacked above the ankles. And now you can bring your hands up by your ears. And feel free to skip this asana if you want to. We're going to exhale and push up into our wheel. Make sure you're breathing fully here. We're not going to stay for too long, just for 2. And for 1, we're going to return back to the ground. And we're going to go into our shoulder stand for our last, or third to last asana. Hold for 2. And for 1, or for as long as you like, to be completely honest. Feel free to pause the video and hang out in that shoulder stand for even longer. Now we're going to bring the feet all the way over the head. Really breathing into your spine here. And now the ear pressure pose. So we bend the knees. If you want, you can wrap the arms around the feet. Really breathe into the bottom of your spine. And also, like I said, hang out there for as long as you want. And whenever you're finished, welcome to our favorite pose of class, Shavasana. Let's relax here with your feet hip distance or wider. Palms facing upward. Feel free to hang out here as long as you like. I recommend at least 5 minutes, but for the sake of this video, we're going to cut our Shavasana short